and in a letter addressed to Mikhail Prokhorov, the billionaire businessman who is also the owner of the Brooklyn Nets basketball team, the lawyer for whistleblower Grigory Rodchenkov threatens a countersuit aimed at exposing the Russian government's efforts to harass and intimidate his client in the United States. The letter by lawyer Jim Walden, a copy of which was provided to News Pulse News, adds to the intrigue surrounding a lawsuit that was filed against Rodchenkov last week in a New York State court by 3 Russian biathletes who were stripped of their 2014 Olympic medals as a result of the whistleblower's allegations about Russian doping. The lawsuit accuses Rodchenkov, the former director of Russia's anti-doping laboratory, of defaming the biathletes and destroying their careers. Letter to Mikhail Prokhorov. Scott Balber, the New York lawyer for the Russian athletes, has acknowledged that Prokhorov is helping to finance the lawsuit along with unnamed others. "I am not at liberty to identify anyone else other than Mr. Prokhorov," Balber said in an email Monday, when asked who else was bankrolling the lawsuit. Balber once represented Donald Trump in a $5 million lawsuit filed in 2013 and later withdrawn against comedian Bill Maher for likening Trump's hair to an orangutan's. He currently represents another Russian oligarch, Aras Agalarov, and his son Emin Agalarov, 2 key figures in the Trump-Russia investigation who helped arrange the June 2016 Trump Tower meeting with Russian operatives at which Trump campaign officials were promised derogatory information about Hillary Clinton. Mr. Balber's admission that unnamed others are also financing this lawsuit is strange, raising the specter that the Kremlin itself might be acting through proxies here, Walden said in a statement to News Pulse News. Certainly, this could be problematic for all involved in this shady suit. In his letter to Prokhorov, Walden asks that all documents relating to the litigation be preserved, including any communications between the Brooklyn Nets owner and any current or former Russian government officials, Russian law enforcement officers, or agents of the FSB, Russia's domestic intelligence service, or representatives of the Russian Olympic Committee. The legal sparring is the latest development in a complicated political and sporting saga that has been playing out since Rodchenkov fled Russia and went public with his account in 2016, describing what he portrayed as a vast and sophisticated scheme by Russia to provide banned drugs to the country's athletes to boost their performance in the Olympic Games and other international sporting competitions, and to cheat the systems meant to catch them. The allegations by Rodchenkov were confirmed by international investigators and led to the International Olympic Committee's decision to bar Russia from sending a delegation to this year's Winter Olympics in South Korea, although Russian athletes were allowed to participate as individuals. That decision was reaffirmed just this week by the Olympic Committee, which refused to let Russian athletes march under their own flag in the closing ceremony at the South Korea Olympics. Since fleeing to the United States, Rodchenkov, now in the Federal Witness Protection Program, has provided key evidence to international investigators and Justice Department officials about potential violations of federal law by the Russians. In doing so, he has become virtually public enemy number 1 to Putin's government. Prosecutors in Russia have filed criminal charges against him, accusing him of drug trafficking, and Putin during his end-of-the-year press conference last December suggested that Rodchenkov was being drugged and manipulated by U.S. intelligence agencies. What are U.S. intelligence agencies doing with him there? Putin said at the December press conference. Are they giving him some kind of substances so that he says what's required? Shortly after Putin's comments, Walden said he was warned by U.S. officials that Russian agents may be looking for Rodchenkov in the United States. Walden, a former federal prosecutor, said he is concerned that the lawsuit is in fact in furtherance of that effort and attempt to find him through judicial means.